I guess, like, I'll have a think about this maybe overnight, but I do feel like the endings of Miside were a little anticlimactic. I'm very intrigued by the fact that peaceful mode hasn't been completed, because I feel like when I first heard about the game like a year ago, they were working on peaceful mode. So I'm not convinced that that's ever going to be finished. I guess it maybe it will be, but like the way they describe it is like a whole other game, where you just like hang out with the character. There's probably mods that sort of fit the criteria a bit better. I think that the level of detail in the game really does a lot to enhance the experience, I guess, because as I said earlier this stream, like there are lots of different vibes in the game. Like every meter that we hang out with, whether it be, you know, Cappy meter, or kind meter, or ugly meter, or core meter, like all of them have their own personalities and quirks. Even phone meter, shout out to phone meter, the real best girl. And they all had their own mini games and items you could look at. Mila was definitely like a big highlight in that regard. She had such a different like vibe to everybody else, which is awesome. But definitely by kind of putting in these little mini games that have 2 mechanics per game, it definitely is diluting the experience a little, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, if there's enough different flavors, it could be okay to have just a taste of everything. But I definitely feel like, you know, when I look at the character bios, I think Core Meter is the best example of this. Like, I was kind of hoping to learn something about the developers, or this like Core Meter is waiting for someone, though who that might be remains a mystery. Like, I assume it's me, but like, or maybe it's a sequel bait. Like, I have no idea. There's lots of little details that I don't really feel like amounted to much in terms of like lore diving. So, which is, you know, technically that's a fine thing to do, but in the current internet age, I do sometimes expect these games to have a little bit more to chew on in terms of lore and plot and things. And yeah, I guess like the main thing is like, I didn't really feel like it was the end of the game. It was very strange, because we went through that whole looping experience, the final set of loops with the coding that we were doing, where we were giving love to Mita, apparently. I think we were like compiling ourselves, our like final, the cartridge that we would turn into, or maybe leave behind, question mark? I'm 100% clear on that. I assume that we became the cartridge. That's what I think the implication was. Because, you know, we pulled out the cartridge in the secret ending and we died. So, you know. But I definitely feel like there could have been a little bit more substance to that ending. Like when Crazy Mina revealed that she hadn't actually been wiped, I thought, oh, we're going to get like a final act. We're going to get something to cap off the experience. A final boss fight or a chase sequence, or like we're going to defeat her in some way. But that didn't really happen. So I guess like I'm really, I think this game was made with love, and I really enjoyed the journey, but it was not about the destination by the end. That's how I kind of feel. So yeah, I guess I'll have to figure out what game I'm going to play next, but that's really how I felt about this one. I don't really want to give it like a point score. I kind of want to just let my feelings hang for a bit, and you know, we can move on to the next game, and I'll figure out what I want to experience next. I want to find more quirky, weird games, which, you know, don't necessarily have to be completely perfect anyway. I think this game has enough creativity going to it that I can get on board. So, you know, thanks everybody who stuck around for this playthrough. It was really fun. I'm looking forward to whatever we do next. I'm gonna get a raid going.